So that's everything we've done so far. That's the final game, sir. Yeah, I get you. But then there is no Link in this one, right? Yeah, we don't have Link in this one. Okay, so why don't we just call it The Legend of Zelda: The Missing Link? So what's up, guys? We're back here with another one, and this time we have The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Now, I would say right off the bat, Nintendo does seem to be bringing their A game here, because this looks like a fairly strong platformer action adventure kind of game, and you know they are very good at making games like that. Their track record really speaks for itself, and I don't think things will be different in this game. However, I do want to say I'm not really a fan of the art style. I don't think it did a lot of service to the game. It looked a little bit like something an indie dev would make because they are low on resources, or they are trying to make the easiest kind of game they can, and they don't want to put too much effort into graphics or having it look a certain way. So it's not really my taste when it comes to video games, but I do see what they were going for. I mean, the art style does kind of lend itself to work fairly well with the Zelda theme and world. Let's be honest, they've done this before, especially when we consider games like Wind Waker, for example. That looked fairly cartoonish in terms of graphics. So, you know, we would have to probably excuse this one. All right, let's break it down. So there seems to be two types of worlds in this game. There is, like, you know, the normal world of Legend of Zelda, and then there's the still world, which I do believe majority of the gameplay is probably gonna take place in the still world. It does seem as though that's what they showed a lot in the gameplay reveal trailer. And of course, you're gonna have the dungeons and the puzzles and a lot of the weird quirky characters you're gonna meet. It's all gonna be happening down below in the still world. And just as I mentioned before, there is no Link in this one, right? So it seems that though Zelda has to face all these challenges alone by herself, and it's somewhat of a solo adventure, this time with the actual character who is the namesake of the damn franchise. Just imagine playing all the previous Zelda games and you coming to it, okay, expecting to play as Zelda because, you know, that's the name of the franchise, that's the name of the games. But then you end up playing as some short, blonde-haired, elf-looking kid from some small village or town, that being Link, of course. So I am definitely welcome to the idea of playing as Zelda. Now, I do actually like the fact that they focus a lot more on her using magical abilities, because that does make a lot of sense. Zelda has not particularly been known as a warrior. In many cases, she's always needed help or always needed to be saved. Typical Nintendo princess treatment right there. But anyway, this game, it is very different. She is the main protagonist, and she has all the abilities to kind of defend herself and even go on the offensive. They do have a mood here where she can somewhat draw a sword. They call it the mysterious sword, and she's able to use this sword aggressively and actually attack enemies. So that is, of course, the classic combat aspect that we're all used to in most of the Legend of Zelda series. Very grateful that they kept that part in, but of course she can't use it for long extended periods of time because it does have a cooldown clock attached to it, so that's something you're gonna only be able to use every now and then. Obviously, what takes center stage are the magical abilities and her ability to bring out what are known as echoes. And from what we can see, those are things that she's taken either from the overworld or from places she's been before. And these range from a lot of things like beds to chairs and even other creatures that can fight on your behest in combat. So I do believe that it's pretty cool that Nintendo has this new gameplay mechanic. Of course, classic Nintendo being creative with how they approach combat and how they approach exploration and puzzle solving. The game does look quite promising. Honestly, the massive plot twist for me would probably be that Link is somewhere in that endless bottomless bag of hers that she keeps all these echoes in. Like, honestly, that would be the coolest thing they could do. Link is literally just hiding out in that bottomless bag where she keeps all her echoes. So yeah, this game does have the look of the casual game kind of appeal and NES Zelda kind of feel to it. So for old and new Zelda players, you guys will probably all have a treat here. For all intents and purposes, this game does look like a mobile game, but then it has gameplay that is way deeper than that. Looks and feels pretty deep and well thought out. Has a little bit of that top-down NES Zelda feeling, while still being refined and fresh in how the gameplay actually looks and plays. So I will say we should definitely watch out for this one when it drops.